clear as day.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So 120K a month to 40K a month.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
It happened over a period of 5 months.
Right.
It didn't happen overnight.
It didn't happen overnight. No. But like for me, June 15th was a big day. Same for you?
Yeah.
All right. So talk to me about this journey, right? Because, you know, we talk a lot, like you've done some substantial numbers. Really impressive.
Thank you.
To now downshift.
Yeah.
Must have been a little painful.
It is painful. Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about what was the process in downshifting? I know it's not as exciting as a topic, but
no, it's not
a real
but it's an important topic. And I think for a lot of people out there, they need to hear it because I think one fallacy that people see is, you know, I did a lot of numbers and I transacted a lot, but they don't really talk. A lot of people don't really talk about, well, this is what I look like today, right? And are vulnerable about it because it's not always that way.
Right.
So it was painful. It's hard to see 15 to 20 transactions a month go down to 7 to 10, right? Which is still respectable in my opinion. It's still 100 deals a year, which is a pretty high ticket or high volume organization. But you learn a lot through that. So one of the things that I learned as I was scaling down, which no one teaches you how to scale down, they only teach you how to scale up. So that's a topic right there.
Yeah.
So as you're scaling down, because it was the first economic shift that a lot of us had experienced. Since 2017, all I've ever seen is this. When did you get in?
2007.
Okay. So yeah, you got
I got to cut my teeth in a difficult market.
That was a tough one, right?
Yeah.
You hit the airbag right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I didn't, right? So I remember in 2017, people were telling me, oh, dude, this market's so saturated. Prices are so high. That was in 2017. Look at where we are today. I wish I could buy everything at the prices I was buying in 2017 and 2018. So as you scale down, you start to notice mistakes and cracks. And what do I mean by that? So I did all the numbers. We did over 150 transactions, give or take, in that year. And when I look back, after everything started to slow down, you know, you start to let go of some people, the noise kind of dissipates. And I looked at all the cancellations and everything that didn't move. And I did an inventory of it over the last 12 months. And what I found was an extra $2 million in revenue that somebody else converted, either another wholesaler, because we didn't follow up. We didn't have the processes to do so because we were such a high volume activity. So what you learn is how to dial it down and really have your team accountable and to dial into their leads. So I think a sales organization has the tendency to go for low-hanging fruit.
Of course.
And yeah, right. Why would you do anything otherwise? So follow-up sucks, right?
Yeah.
But the fortune really is in the follow-up, not to sound cliche. I mean, you know, you're a sales trainer. I mean, you know, what's the average touches? 6 to 8, right?
I think you want to get a deal closed is probably like at least 12.
Yeah, exactly. And the average person touches it, what, 2 to 3 times?
I don't think it's 2.
Exactly. So
I think it's 1.5.
Exactly. So imagine that, right? I mean, that's a huge problem, but it's also a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you view it that way and you can train your sales team to do that and you have systems, auto follow-ups, I mean, there's a lot of things we can talk about, but you're already going to be ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And for a volume business like mine that did over 7 million to find another 2+, and that was when I stopped looking because I was just getting depressed. Imagine that. I could have been an 8-figure business is what I just told you. Yeah. And that was just not by doing more, not by doing extra, not by marketing more, not by hiring more. It was just following up more and having my team dig deeper, you know? So that's one of the major things that it was a pain point, but it was huge for me to rebuild the team back up.
Yeah. So you had the patience to actually go through and dive through all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And I came home and my girlfriend was there and I was super pissed. And I remember she's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I just lost it. I was like venting about it.
So I had an incident last year where I was going through this and auditing and finding things out. And I saw like, oh, just these three deals alone was like $90K in lost revenue. Right. And I just left home. I went home early that day. Right. So I normally stay here 5, 6 o'clock, whatever. I remember leaving early, getting home, sitting down, talking to the wife. It's like, how was your day? I was like, you know,
not so good.
Not so great. And I just looked at her. I was like, hey, you know, are you okay if I just like go to the casino right now? Right. It's like, why? I was like, feeling a little bit edgy right now. And I just don't want to say anything stupid at home. Just laugh. Just went to the casino, you know, just got all the anxiety out there. So going back to your situation here, right? So you went through and you reviewed the notes, reviewed the pipeline, the CRM and all that, which is amazing. One of the things that not a lot of people talk about are the difficult